post-game, KOC mentioned how, like, every week guys are learning something new about this team, about themselves. What did you learn new yesterday?
I think yesterday was a good test. I mean, usually you have to go through a loss to have a test like that. So it was good to, have a little adversity and still come out with a win. Just finding things we got to clean up and just be better at.
When did you realize that this team had what it takes to, start off special like this?
In OTAs, when I first got here, you could tell the coaches, the locker room, the way guys bonded together. It was going to be a special year.
You talk about the adversity, to know that you can kind of get to the brink but pull back.
Right.
That teaches you a lot about the guys that you have in the trenches that you
Right.
already knew, but in the game is different.
Right, yeah, absolutely. I think, going through being up that much, we should put that game away, right? I think there's no excuse for it being a close game, and to go through those moments, we learned from it, and it taught us a lot of things we can be better at.
Was there anything about the second half and the way they moved the ball that just really stood out to you about kind of why they were able to find as many pockets of space?
Yeah, I think it was just on us. I think we were playing them like a normal game, thinking that they're going to dink and dunk, and we're going to have pressure, and they were just taking some big shots and coming down with them. So you keep those big chunks off the tape, and it's a whole different ball game.
Did anything about their tempo affect you guys, you feel like? Or did you feel like that was just them trying to move the ball quickly because of the clock and how much they were
I think they went into the game with a good game plan, with trying to trap us in different personnels and stuff. And then, that second half, I think, just maybe guys, we got a little tired. Things are going fast. We're having to run all over the field. But just really, it was just a big play. It's just trying to, if we can eliminate those, I think it's a whole different game.
Heading across the pond this week, what are you most excited for?
I played in London before, and it was actually a pretty awesome experience. Just something different, seeing the different culture there, different country. Should be fun.
What do you do to prepare, for yours? I know the team does things, but
Yeah.
do you do anything now?
Nah, I think it's just kind of a natural thing. I'm luckily I'm from Hawaii, so I'm used to this time change stuff, so, but it's no joke, you get there, you're tired in the middle of the day, and just trying to adjust to that is a game changer for sure.
On your interception, what did you see to kind of allow you to cut down on that dig route?
I think we were in a too high, and I knew that they were a little condensed, and I knew Harry and them could handle the vert, so I was like, I'm gonna try and steal this one, which sometimes is not recommended, but I was like, might as well try. Yeah.
With so many quote-unquote new guys coming in this year, but then to seamlessly fit together, that doesn't always happen. What is that key ingredient you think that is working?
I think it's a good blend between older guys and younger guys, having the vet presence in here. You guys have just having Harrison Smith being a leader in this locker room, running this defense, and then having Flo with his play style, his calls, and his just all-inclusive kind of teaching. Gets everyone on the same page and lets us be able to just roll out there.
Kamu, how do you guys go about it in terms of making those types of decisions on the field, saying, hey, I see something here, I'm going to peel off and do this? I mean, how much freedom do you have to do that versus, kind of playing the rules?
I think that's a good thing that Flo does, is he allows, the players to be the players, and players make plays. He gives us, some boundaries for sure, and he's always lets us go, and if it's not working, he's like, hey, I'm going to call it back, I'm going to take it back and we're going to run it my way. But if it is, he lets us play our thing, and I think we do a good job in here. We talk to each other. We're always throughout the week being like, hey, if we get this, what would you do if I do this? And just kind of bounce ideas off each other. So I think it's great in that aspect.
When Byron got the pick, some guys say they can kind of feel the vibe. We all know someone has to step up and make a play, and then it comes through. That coming through thing, that's a good feeling to have and have confidence in, right?
Absolutely. I was talking to him today. I was like, that pick was beautiful, but his punch-out was a game changer, game winner, I think. So that was clinic, and I think that was the game sealer right there.
You guys have spent a lot of time repping that type of thing and all the circuit drills you do. How rewarding is it to see that all that technique work is paid off on that?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think the emphasis is always on takeaways, right? And I think in every game we've won the turnover margin, and just continuing that, and I think we hang our hat on that.
I know he's on the other side of the ball, but whenever a guy like Aaron Jones going back into, you know, his own territory, the games mean more. You can't say that going into
Right,
it,
right,
but what does
right.
it mean for you guys to see a teammate have that experience?
It was awesome. I think, you know, his headspace, and it was honestly cool seeing the fans embrace him too. You know, you never know how that kind of will go, and they were cheering him on when he first walked out there to see how much he's loved there, and I mean how much we love him here is you know, we got a good one.
Obviously, seeing what routes he likes to throw. Obviously, know his arm strength is one of his biggest things. He can get the ball, you know, 80 yards down the field. So this will be an exciting game. Obviously, just looking forward to it.
Did you watch much of him yet, just this year? Coming
Not yet, but obviously I watched some of the game yesterday they played, and I just same, you know, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. So
What do you do differently? Like, so you guys are leaving Thursday and get to London Friday morning. Like, it kind of gets tricky, doesn't
the
it?
first thing is trying to figure out your sleeping routine. That's the number one thing. Obviously, like I said, my first time, but just making sure, you know, when we get on that flight and just follow everything. When you get, you know, your meals, and just get that sleep, because we know when we get there, we got to go straight to practice. So that, you know, that time is going to be a little different, but we just got to adapt and get ready for Sunday.
Byron, obviously, with the interception, you can kind of feel that your team needed something, but some of your teammates are saying it was the punch out that was even more impressive. Well, how do you rate either one?
That's what they said. The
Yeah.
pick was cool, but the punch out was even better. And you know, I believe that because, you know, obviously the picks, they're gonna come, but the punch out is kind of harder thing to do, obviously. But when I got the punch out, it was just you know, another extra feeling when I seen Hat again on the sideline. I was just like, man, they've been on me all week. I finally got one out.
All the quarterbacks you've seen with other teams, where does Sam rank in terms of his deep balls? And,
Number one.
Yeah.
That's my number one. That's my guy. That's my quarterback. So I'm going with Sam through anything and everything.
especially the way he throws deep balls. I mean, you obviously have seen him in practice.
Definitely seen him at practice. He's actually, you know, back, shoulders, and all that. The ball's on the money. So at practice, you know, when your coach be like, you got to guard him, it's like, coach, he just threw a good ball. But obviously he's been showing that week by week. And like I said, I'm riding with Sam through everything. Yes, sir.
Byron, when it comes to practice, travel, logistics, you name it, what's the biggest challenge this week?
I would say it's just the sleep routine. Obviously, the time change and all those things. But another challenge is staying locked in, staying focused. You know, we're all going on a trip. It's just a business trip, and that's the mindset we got to have.
Byron, how do you determine to do the punch? Is it just how the play evolved, or is it the game situation?
I think for me, it's more almost every single tackle. It's like when you go make a tackle, you should try to punch the ball out instead of, you know, it's going to create another turnover, obviously. And you got 11 other guys, 10 other guys coming to the ball with you to help you. So every single tackle, you should try to get the ball out.
Byron, the turnover numbers or takeaway numbers for you guys are up quite a bit through 4 games this year.
sir.
What has been different this year that's led to that increase, do you think?
I would say, like, again, I think it goes back to details. We're all getting to the ball. Every guy on the field is flying to the ball, even from the D-line. They're all trying to get to the ball, and I think that's one of the biggest things, because when teams see that on film, it's like, okay, we see all 11 to the ball. That's a different feeling. So I think the punch-outs and all those turnovers that's coming just comes with that. The whole defense playing together, and, you know, not one guy trying to make the play. Everyone's trying to make the play, and that's what this defense is all about. Someone's going to make the play. We don't know who it is, but when they do, it always turns out good.
What is it about the coverage structure that allows for guys like Kamu yesterday to have the freedom to peel off of a deep route and
And
make
that's
a play?
another thing. See, Coach Flo just puts his guys in, you know, positions where he thinks they can, you know, obviously go be great. And that's just it. Kamu came in first 2 weeks, back-to-back picks, and that just shows, you know, he puts the guys in the right spots. And then obviously Kamu, he can catch, so he's going to make those plays.
Well, 4-0, do you feel like you're just scratching the surface of how good you guys can be?
I would just, I would just say it's kind of like the first quarter. Definitely won that. Obviously got to keep it going, but just like I said, it's the mindset. Obviously got to come in here confident, believe in everyone in this locker room. But that's just the mindset of come here, not cocky, but we got this. Like, we got a team that's special, so we just got to come here with that confidence and just keep going to practice and showing up on Sundays making those plays.
You've gone up against Justin in practice many times.
Definitely, yeah.
What is that like for a corner? I mean, the catch that he made yesterday, the corner's right there. It doesn't even matter. Like, what is that like from your perspective?
It's just sometimes at practice I just get frustrated. It's like, man, I'm playing defense, but he's just catching everything. But he's definitely a receiver that's going to get you better at practice. And obviously on Sunday it shows like, okay, I'm going against this guy. Sunday should be even a little bit easier in a way. But when he goes make those catches, it's just like, man, we just see that every day. So it's kind of like, oh my God. But he's actually making the craziest catches. And then obviously defense could be right next to him. He's still going to catch it. So as a defensive player, just guarding him is getting me better. Obviously, our guys here are getting better, and obviously he just makes the craziest catches. Obviously, he's the best receiver in the league.
And I think Renard was saying a couple of games ago that he's impressed with KO. He goes, right when I think I pretty much know what an offensive scheme is going to be or I've learned everything, he throws something else in that makes him think, oh, maybe I don't know everything.
Exactly. Coach KO, I think he could come with a lot of bullets at you. He could come with something that, people might, oh, this might be coming, and it's something totally different. That's one thing I do love about our offense as well, because we got so many guys on the offense side of the ball, too, that can make plays. So if you think something's coming, it's probably going to be something else. That's what I like about that, too, as well.
It's rare to have 3 interceptions in a game, but it's the 3 of you guys right in a row in this locker room.
That's a blessing. Obviously, Shaq started it off. Once he got one, I went up to him. I said, okay, now I have to go get one. There's no, earlier the game, I think I dropped one. I think I could have caught. Obviously, kind of a harder catch, but I think I can make that play. But, yeah, once Shaq got his one, I'm like, okay, we're going to get to the sideline. I got to go straight up to him until I'm getting one next. So just thank God it happened like that for sure.
I learned that we're, a resilient team. Obviously, we got tested there late in the game, and we got to come together as a team, and we got to figure out how to not let it snowball and let it affect our play, and continue to just take it one game at a time and one play at a time. And when these bad plays happen, we got to be able to bounce back and not let it affect the outcome of the game.
What can you pinpoint about why it snowballed to the extent it did in the second half?
They're a good team. Obviously, they had some good plays, and they came out and, started throwing the ball and attacking us. And, we got to tighten up our coverage, tighten up our pass rush, and be able to get home. We didn't have as many sacks this game as we did in the past. And, we just got to, be able to play complementary football. And, just rely on the pass rush and rely on the coverage and play off each other.
Andrew, did you feel like the tempo that they were using a little bit in the second half affected
They'll
you guys
test
at all?
it. I mean, even a guy like Aaron Rodgers.
I think it might have made us play on our heels a little bit more. Obviously, we try to keep everything in front, and they just kind of hit plays over our front level defenders, and it's plays that we got to be able to tighten the coverage up and play closer.
Is that like the marriage between what you guys have done from a pass rush standpoint and coverage? Part of the reason why you feel like you guys have been as successful defensively for as long as you guys have been thus far this year? That marriage of
Yeah, you got to have that marriage, because if there's no rush and the quarterback's always escaping the pocket, he's going to be able to extend plays, and eventually it's hard to cover a guy for 5, 6, 7 seconds down into the down. So and the same goes, you need coverage to be able to let the pass rush eat and get home. So it goes hand in hand.
you came out and were off the ball. Was that just, I guess, why were you playing off the ball kind of to start the game a little bit, it looked like?
Yeah, it's kind of that versatility and, trying to give them a different look and, just trying to keep them on their toes. And, Flo always puts a game plan together that he thinks is going to work and going to give us the best outcome. We as players got to come in and be accountable and play at a higher standard.
Did you enjoy playing off the ball? Do you enjoy it?
At heart, I'm an outside backer and, like getting after the quarterback and applying pressure. But, I accept my role and kind of who I am and how he likes to use me as a player. And, I'm willing to drop back into coverage, be able to cover, and allow those other guys to eat up front.
Andrew, now that you've got the win in your back pocket, it was the first time you went to Lambeau. Can you step aside and be like the kid that grew up the Vikings fan, kind of with the Packers rivalry, how you viewed being in there?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Obviously, that stadium is one of the top stadiums in the league. Obviously, all the history there, and just remembering the games that the Vikings played against them in the past, and it's always a great atmosphere. Obviously, the fans were into it, just seeing all these guys that grew up there and watching them play there, make plays there. I want to be a part of that, and obviously, when you go into Lambeau and get a win there, it's incredible. It's a great feeling.
Unique opportunity this week. What are you most excited for?
Yeah, obviously playing in London, it's it's a quick trip. And it's you got to get your sleep and get your body clock right and make all the adjustments that way. And I'm excited to play this Jets team that has a healthy Aaron Rodgers and he can still sling the ball. He's still playing at a high level, so we gotta come prepared and not take this team for granted.